Yo, what is up, everybody? It is your favorite Fat Boy Rary coming at you with another Fat Boy Takes. Your boy's finally getting on the mic again. I'm sorry I haven't been doing a pod. I've been really busy with work. It's finally dying down. I finally have time to do stuff again. I know I keep saying this, but it's been kind of tough for your boy. COVID season was kind of trash for me because I work in the pharmaceutical industry. Let's just say I was working a group of hours. And yeah, so it kind of sucked. But I'm back. I should have more time now. I'm gonna try to do a pod weekly. If I can't do weekly, at least I will try to do one bi-weekly. I'm not making any promises though, cause your boy is busy. But I hope all you guys are doing well, and for whoever follows, I appreciate it. And to all the listeners that listen to me on Pandora, I really, really appreciate it. I wish you guys would follow me more or ask me questions on Twitter, so we can talk more about sports or whatever. It doesn't matter, or gaming. Gaming. I love gaming. It's fun. I like it. Yeah. On today's pod, we're gonna have NBA talk. So far, like, I think we're like almost 20 games in. I'm gonna kind of assess the teams that I've been watching, the top 4 teams in each conference. And I'll talk about a couple of other teams. Also, I will talk about the biggest surprises for me in the NFL season now that it's the Super Bowl. So I'll talk about the teams that surprised me the most and the ones that were very, very disappointing to me. And I will pick my winner for the Super Bowl. And yeah, that's what's on tap for today's pod. I hope you guys stick around. Let's get it. Alright, so here we go. Let's kick off the NBA talk. So we're going to talk about the Western Conference, the first 4 teams in the West. I am going to be honest with all you guys. I am really, really shocked that the Utah Jazz are sitting at the top of the conference. Everybody was pretty much saying the Lakers have that conference. They were going to run away with it. Easy peasy. They upgraded their squad, blah, blah, blah. And here we have the small market Utah Jazz doing damage in the West. Led by Donovan Mitchell. My man is averaging 23.3 points a game. And then obviously they got their anchor, Rudy Gobert. This team's looking really solid right now. I'm not going to lie. I'm super impressed. They went on a 12-game win streak. I'm gonna be honest though, like, that run they went on was nice, but that was like, the schedule was not that hard. But they still got to go out there and win the games. They handled their business. I think this team, in order for this team to be a contender, because I'm gonna be honest, I think this team is a pretender. I don't really think they got what it takes to win the championship. Yes, they'll make some noise, but I just don't see it. I don't think. Yes, they're leading the league in 3-pointers made, but I feel like this team is gonna stall out in the playoffs, in the half court. I don't think it's gonna playoffs. Different story. I don't think this team has enough. Like, Jordan Clarkson was probably the best signing this team made in the offseason. Instant offense off the bench. Literally, he knows his role. He knows that when he comes in the game, it's fucking go time. It's, let's get these buckets, boys. So that's good. He finally knows his role. He's like, I'm getting buckets. I don't care. Play me whatever you play me. I'm getting buckets. So basically, I just feel like, I don't know. It's also going to depend on the health of Bogdanovich. Because last year they didn't have him for the playoffs, and obviously he was greatly missed. He's a good shooter. So hopefully he can stay healthy, because if he stays healthy, this team, I think, has a shot. I think their ceiling is probably, I don't think this team can beat the Clippers. I'm going to be honest. Probably second round exit. Hate to say it. I know I sound like a hater, but I'm just going to keep it real. I don't think this team can beat the Clippers or the Lakers in a 7-game series. I just don't see it happening. But who knows? I don't mind being proved wrong. I don't care. It'd be cool if I got proved wrong. I would like to see the Jazz go to the Western Conference Finals and duke it out with the Lakers. Because I'm going to be honest, the Western Conference Finals is going to be the Lakers and Clippers. If it's not, I'm going to go with the Jazz. But we'll see how everything turns out. Hopefully they can keep playing well. And I see Mike Conley has been playing well. Last year, Mike Conley League was a disaster. He's was started off really, really, really slow, and then once it hit playoff time, he started playing better, but it was already kind of too late. Like, his bad play kind of like screwed over the team during the season, and now, but hey, he's playing good ball now, so we'll see how everything turns out for this team. And then the second team we're gonna talk about is the Lakers. But the thing with the Lakers is, like, the team's good. Don't get me wrong; they're led by AD and LeBron, but I don't know if it feels like they lost too much, like defensive wise. Like, I feel like just watching that team play, and then you just watch Montrezl Harrell get killed in the pick and roll. Just that man's getting murked in the pick and roll. I don't get what's going on with him. I guess I want to be honest, the Clippers made the right decision by letting him go and not overpaying him, because he was going to get overpaid. The man can't, like I always say in this pod, the man can't shoot like outside of like 30 feet. So you already know in the NBA now that's a big liability. But they don't need him to do that. But that's the thing, though. If he's not there to do that, he's there to rebound and play good defense. But he can't even play defense because he gets exposed on the pick and roll. And in the playoffs, it's a lot of pick and roll. A lot of pick and roll. But he has to have AD there. But I don't know. I think the Lakers will be fine. Obviously, they're led by LeBron and Anthony Davis. But Anthony Davis has not been as good as he was last year. All his averages are down, but who knows? He might turn it up as the season goes along. We still have 40 games to go, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see if Anthony Davis starts playing like his former self. And I'm in LeBron's year 18, whatever. The man's still balling. I picked him to win MVP. Right now, he is currently the MVP leader. I said it was going to be a 3-man race. It was going to be Luka, him, LeBron, and I think I said Anthony Davis. I don't remember. That was like 2 months ago. But LeBron James is the clear favorite to win the MVP so far. And also, big ups to my boy Joe fucking Keek. I stand the shit out of Joe Keek. I'm always talking Joe Keek up. I love that dude. I love how he plays. I am so happy he's playing out of his mind right now, and he's in the conversation for MVP. But I think the only thing holding back Joe Keek from winning MVP is his team record is kind of shit right now, because that team is struggling right now. Like, they win, lose. It's just like they can't win constantly. And that, I'm pretty sure that has to do with their wings not being able to defend. Michael Porter Jr. cannot defend anything. Jeremy Grant was a huge loss for that team. All right, enough about the Joe Keek and the Nuggets. We'll get to them later on. But yeah, another thing with the Lakers, I just feel like they lost a lot of that inside presence. Like, their defense seems kind of weak. Like, losing Dwight, I hate to say it, losing Dwight might hurt this team come playoff time, because they're smaller now. That was the thing with them last year. They were all big, but they're actually smaller now. So it's kind of like, we'll see. But this team's roster is great. Like, Schroeder's been playing well. Wesley Matthews has been hurt. That's the dude I'm surprised about. He didn't play against the Celtics. He's been out. So we'll see how they look when he's actually playing constantly. Also, I think the Lakers are going to be fine. I think the Lakers will either make it to the Western Conference Finals again, or they will be or lose or go to the finals again. That's the thing for this team. I feel that this team is we already know this team is championship or bust. LeBron is like in his last year, so they're going to try to get LeBron every single championship they can. But yeah, I just feel like this team has lost a lot defensively. Like, I know Anthony Davis is doing his thing, candidate for Defensive Player of the Year, but I just don't know. And then, Marc Gasol has been terrible. Marc Gasol is just, it's just looking like he's a statue out there. He's lost all, like, that's the thing that sucks for Laker fans, I feel, because all the Laker fans were hyped about getting Marc Gasol. They were like, yes, Marc Gasol. We're happy we have a Gasol on our team again. And he's been awful. Like, he's just looks like a statue out there. sluggish. It's just weird watching him decline so bad. I'm a fan of Marc Gasol, so it kind of sucks that he's declined so much. But yeah, enough about the Lakers. I think the Lakers still gonna do their thing, championship or finals appearance. Western Conference Finals minimum. But let's talk about the Clippers. I got a chance to watch the Clippers play the Celtics last night. No Paul George, but also the Celtics had no Jaylen Brown, no Marcus Smart. I feel to me that was a must-win game for them. Well, that's a game the Clippers should have won. Like, the Clippers have the better bench. I would say the Clippers had the better player, but hell nah, motherfucking J2 was balling. That boy said, I'm the best player. He got a haircut last week. You already know. When he gets a haircut, he top 5. But no, I feel like that. Like, the Clippers, to me, is a team. That's another team that I think can make the finals. This team is good defensively. They have a lot of shooters. I'm pretty sure they lead the league in three-point percentage. But I just don't know because, like, this team is weird. Like, watching this team is weird. Like, sometimes they're locked in defensively, and then sometimes they're just like, whatever. You don't know what you're going to get with this team. You don't know if you're going to get the killer instinct. Damn, we're locking everybody up. Ain't nobody scoring on us team. Or if we're going to we're going to let Kemba go off for 25 points on us. Little baby boy Kemba. But I do like this team. I think the addition of Serge Ibaka was really, really good for this team. He fits the team well. I really like the Kennard pickup. Kennard was playing very well tonight. Batum is looking like his former self. I know nobody has been able to say that in a long time about Nicholas Batum, but Nicholas Batum looks really, really good as a Clipper. It looks like the Clippers got this man playing good ball. So good for him because he was kind of like on a decline, and now he's up there again. He's looking like his former self, so good for him. I feel like this team just, like, I don't know, like, if Kawhi has a bad game, this team literally struggles so hard. It's like, this team needs to find that medium where Kawhi and PG-13 are constantly playing well. Because it's that whole thing. One plays bad, they're going to lose. Like, unless Lou Williams explodes, like, off the bench. But I think this team will clean it up by playoff time, though. Same with the Lakers. Like, we saw the Lakers taking L's last week. These two teams are going to clean it up. And then let's talk about the 4th-seeded Denver Nuggets. To me, I think the Denver Nuggets, I don't think they're going to make it out the second round this year, to be honest. I just don't see it happening. Obviously, they should not have made it out last year, but I was hyped because I love Jokic, so I don't give a shit. But to me, I just feel like it's like I said earlier, this team lost so much defensively, losing Jeremy Grant. And look at what Jeremy Grant's doing in Detroit. I think they should have paid that man his money, and this team would have been looking way better. It's just, this team was, I feel like I'm a Michael Porter Jr. fan. Don't get me wrong. I stand this kid. I said this kid was going to be good last year, and I was right. But the problem with Michael Porter Jr., he's a young player. He still has, his defense isn't up to his game on offense yet. It hasn't caught up to his offense yet. So the problem is he's getting killed by these wings, and it's hurting the team bad. And then another thing, Denver started off really, really slow. Like, they were missing lots of threes. It just didn't look themselves. They're starting to look like themselves now, but I feel like the issue is, like, Jokic is literally carrying this team right now. His numbers are insane. The man's literally averaging almost a triple-double. This man is not playing no damn games. He's trying to win as much games as possible, but Jamal Murray has been terrible. Like, Jamal Murray is literally one of the most inconsistent players in the NBA, and it is so weird because the dude is a baller. It's just, I don't understand. Like, there's those nights he'll go for like 30, and then there's those nights like he'll go for like 12. Like, yeah, 12 points is good, but not for a team that he's their second option. He at least need to be dropping 20 bombs nightly. It can't just be Jokic dropping 25 bombs, 12 rebounds, 12 assists. They're not going to win like that. But I think this team will be okay because eventually they're not going to keep missing their shots. Eventually the ball's going to go in and they're going to get their W's. Jokic had that monster game against the Jazz, though. He literally beat the Jazz by himself. 33 points in the first half? That game was over in the first half. Jokic was on one that night. And also another thing about Jokic, why Jokic is so deadly, Jokic is a freaking great three-point shooter. A lot of people don't talk about how good he is at shooting the three. He literally shoots the three ball above 40% in the playoffs. He's done it for 2 seasons in a row now. That's one of the things that people underlook about Jokic. He shoots the three ball very, very well, so it forces his defender to leave the paint. And also he's a great passer. So, if you're gonna leave the paint, he's gonna hurt you. Either he's gonna make the shot, or he's gonna find the dude cutting to the basket for an easy layup. It's kind of like pick your poison with this dude because he's so good at shooting and passing. But that's pretty much it. Like, those are the top 4 seeds. I pretty much so far I'm off by one team. I thought the Portland Trailblazers would be the 4th seed right now, but I'm wrong. Obviously, I'm super wrong because the Utah Jazz are in the 1st seed. But my predictions so far for the season are spot on, unless the Jazz fall off. But I don't think they're going to because they have a big lead. Like, not over the Lakers, but like over the Nuggets. So the Jazz will probably be a top 4 seed this year. So I'm going to be wrong in that prediction, which is totally fine. I'm cool with it. And I'm going to just say this. I'm really, really impressed by the Phoenix Suns. Like, I did not think the Phoenix Suns would be playing so well. And I know Devin Booker and Chris Paul haven't played. I know they've been injured a couple of games, so we'll see how that turns out. I think the Suns will end up making the playoffs, which is good for them. I'm going to be honest, I didn't think this team was going to be that good, but Chris Paul has his team playing as a team. He has Ayton playing better. Devin Booker, well, we already know Devin Booker. That man's buckets. So Devin Booker's playing well. The team I think that will end up moving up the standings will probably be the Portland Trailblazers, though. I think the Portland Trailblazers will probably end up competing for like the 4th or 3rd seed at some point, but I don't know if they get it. But yeah, and it's looking like, I'm going to be honest, how the standings are right now, by looking at them, I think the only team that has a chance to make the playoffs out of everybody that's left right now, I think it's going to be the Houston Rockets. I don't think the Grizzlies will do it this year. We know the Kings are not. The Pelicans are not. Oklahoma's fucked. That team's garbage now. This is a big, big disappointment for me so far. The Dallas Mavericks have looked terrible this year. They can't defend shit. The offense is terrible. It's not terrible. It's like mediocre. You already know in the NBA you're not going to win games if your offense is mediocre and your defense is garbage. We already know it's not going to work. In order for a team that has a mediocre offense to win games, they're going to have a top defense. That is the problem the Mavericks are running into, and also Kristaps Porzingis has been injured. I've been said it on this pod that guy has glass knees. It sounds shitty, but it is the truth. Ever since he got injured from his ACL, he has not been the same. He's been getting injured constantly. He'll miss like 10 plus games this season. And I'm going to be honest. I think Luka needs to get out of there. Because if Luka stays there, he's just going to waste his career there. If Mark Cuban is not going to put the players around him, we're going to waste that young man. He's going to waste his talent there because he's not going to win anything. He either needs to try to get a player to go play with him, or he needs to get the fuck out of there. Who cares how much money he can make? This kid is one of the best players. He's already a top 5 player in the league. Get him some fucking help. Like, this is ridiculous, Mark Cuban. Like, I don't know if Mark Cuban even went after Giannis hard. I feel like you got to get this kid another player, because Kristaps Porzingis is not the dude. Like, he's definitely not the dude. He's already proved that he's not the dude. He's been injured. So that's pretty much it about the West. So I don't want to talk about the West anymore. We're good. I feel like I spoke enough on that. And now let's get to the Eastern Conference. So the 76ers are at the top of the conference. It's been a long time since I've said that. Anybody has said that. Joel Embiid is playing great basketball right now. He's an MVP candidate. Ben Simmons still can't shoot. But to me, I think I'm going to just say this one. Just going to say this clearly. This team, to me, is all fucking hype. The Philadelphia fucking 76ers are not going to do shit after the second round. This is a second round exit. Guaranteed. This team can't beat Boston healthy. This team ain't going to beat the Nets healthy. I don't even think they might beat the Bucks if they play the Bucks, but I don't think they're gonna end up playing the Bucks. I think the only team they can beat is the Bucks. I don't see it. Like, to me, this team's big pretenders. A big reason I say this team's big ass pretenders is because fucking Joel Embiid's a big fucking baby. In a 7-game series, this man is every day, like, because he has to play back to back. He's not gonna get multiple days off. So in a 7-game series, this dude is going to be gassed every fourth quarter, and it's just layup lines after that. Once Joel Embiid gets gassed, it's layup lines for the team that's playing him. I hate to say it, sounds fucked up, but that's what's been happening to these dudes for the past 3 years. Same when they played the Raptors, they lost to the Raptors, same shit. Always tired in the fourth quarter. My man, you get paid, like, dude, I'm fat, dude. I don't get paid millions of dollars. If I was you, like a Sixers fan, I'd be pissed. You're paying this guy millions of dollars to be out of shape in the playoffs? Get the fuck out of here. And I'm not hating on Philly because I'm a C's fan. It's just, I think Joel Embiid is a great player, but he just pisses me off because he's lazy. And I don't care what anybody says. Like, people can be like, now, how do you know he's lazy? When you have reporters publishing reports that when you're injured and they're buying you healthy food and you're throwing it out to eat chicken strips and fucking hot dogs, that just means you're lazy and you don't give a fuck, like, about your team or about winning. Let's just be honest. But yeah, the team's playing good defense. Doc Rivers hasn't playing well. They got shooters, but another thing to me is, like, I think the defense is gonna get exposed in the playoffs, just like Joel Embiid in the fourth quarter. It is what it is. I hate to say it, Philly fans. I'm not buying it, but we'll see. They're in first place right now. We'll see how everything turns out. Tobias Harris is playing at an all-star level, so big ups to Tobias Harris. That's a dude I got to give a big shout out to because he's turned up his game this year. He was kind of struggling last year in the playoffs. He was getting murdered by Brown and Tatum, but he's doing well now. And now let's get to the Milwaukee Bucks. This is another team right here that's a pretender to me. The simple fact that in the playoffs, they did not fix no issues with the Jrue Holiday trade. The half-court offense is still garbage, and we already know in the playoffs it's all half-court offense. This team's gonna probably get screwed in the playoffs again. Same thing. It's gonna be really, really hard for them to get buckets. They got nobody that can go get a bucket except Giannis. And I'm a huge Jrue Holiday fan, but I just don't think it's enough. They really needed that Bogdanovich trade to go through, and it didn't go through. They never announced. By the way, they never announced what happened with that. It was just like whatever. Like, we're investigating this, but nothing ever came out, so you don't know what happened. Yeah, I have a feeling this team will get exposed in the playoffs. In the half court offense, they're gonna be good defensively. Obviously, their coach always has to play defense at a high level, but I just don't see it. The half court offense is gonna be a big issue in the playoffs, but I'm just happy for Giannis. He's balling. He got his money. He's doing his thing. Obviously, Giannis leads the team in points, rebounds. I don't know. The thing to me, like, and also, I'm not very high on Chris Middleton. I'm going to be 100% honest with all you guys. Like, to me, I feel like there's an issue if your second best player is Chris Middleton. Like, yes, he can defend, but on offense, if he's not making shots, he's fucking useless. Like, I hate to say it, because he can't get to the basket whenever he wants. He's a spot-up three-point shooter. I hate to say it. It fucking sounds like shit, but it's the truth. He's a spot-up three-point shooter. He doesn't he doesn't get to the rim. Like, he'll post you up every now and then and get a bucket over you, but we don't play. The NBA's not played like that no more. It's just like they're gonna keep doing it. But yeah, to me, I'm not buying the Bucks hype. I think they'll probably make it to the second round again. And the Sixers, second round, don't care. Because the Sixers are going to either have to play the Celtics or the Nets in the second round. And I don't think they could beat either of them. Same with the Bucks. I don't think they can do it. Here we go. The next thing we're going to talk about is the Brooklyn Nets. And I haven't potted since they got James Harden. Remember I said that there's only one ball and it's not going to work. They're finding a way for it to work right now. But I have a feeling come playoff times, when they actually scheme for all that shit, it's going to be hard for them. Also, I don't understand why Kyrie Irving is taking more shots than Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's the better scorer, the better shooter. Just shut the fuck up, give him the ball. But they still, like I said, they still got time to figure it out. They have, 50 games left. To me, that James Harden pickup's good. It's kind of weird to watch James Harden play point, because it's like, that's Kyrie's job. But we already know how Kyrie plays. Every Kyrie fan is like dribble, 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 dribble. The ball sticking, instead of moving the ball. They're not. I don't think he just likes to play a lot of ISO. I don't know. We'll see, because they still got time to figure it out. But to me, I feel like the Brooklyn Nets, I don't know. I'm not going to punch this team into the finals yet, because the simple fact that their defense is literally fucking garbage. They got the worst defense in the league. They're on pace to have the worst defense ever. And we already know that you're not going to win a championship unless you have a top 10 defense. So we'll see what it's looking like in like a month or two. But unless this team gets their shit together defensively, this team is not going to win. But I do like all the pickups they made. I don't know. To me, I feel like this team was very, very strong because they had a lot of depth. They literally lost all their depth just to get Harden. So we'll see how that goes come playoff time when they have to play a lot of minutes. We'll see if they can do it. And also Harden's not in shape right now. He's a little fat boy like me, so we'll see. But like I said, it's like a broken record. I know I keep saying they have time. He has time to get in shape, so we'll see. But yeah, the thing that's going to stop this team from winning at all is going to be their defense. If they play a team like the Clippers, Lakers, from the western side, I don't think they'll beat one of those teams. A team that can score and defend well, I don't think they can do it. But we'll see. And I think Kyrie's averaging like 30 points ever since he came back from his little mental break. So I guess he's playing at a high level. Obviously, we already know Harden's going to play at a high level. And also, KD is playing at an MVP level, but he's not getting talked about enough because he plays with Harden and Kyrie now. For the simple fact that he's averaging, I think 27 points a game. Like, I'm geeked that he's balling, by the way, because a lot of people were like, he's not going to be the same. Remember, I said this here on the pod. I said, KD is going to be okay because KD can shoot from wherever the fuck he wants on the floor. From wherever. The left side, the right side, middle. Like, it doesn't matter. The dude will get buckets from wherever on the court. He can also still get to the basket, and we already know his step back is unguardable. It is unguardable. Like, let's just be real here. Like, whoever thought this dude wasn't going to be okay, literally watches fucking basketball with fucking blinders on. But yeah. Now, enough about the fucking Nets. Let's get to the Boston Celtics. To me, I feel like the Boston Celtics is a team that has the potential to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, maybe the Finals. Like, I'm not just saying this because I love this team. Like, I really try to be super unbiased. But just the things right now, if they can clean these things up, this team will make the Finals. Like, they have the scoring power to compete with any of those top 3 teams in the East right now. They just need to clean up the defense. If they clean up the defense, because I'm going to be honest, that Pritchard pickup was a great pickup for them. He's been doing damage. That's what they need. They need scoring off the bench. Pritchard has been providing scoring off the bench. Oh, and by the way, Jeff Teague has been fucking terrible. I don't know what the hell happened to that guy, but I hope he comes back and starts playing like his former self. Man, he is looking awful right now. And let's be honest, let's talk about the Jays. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum have been literally destroying everybody. Once this team is fully healthy, Kemba's at 100%, and Marcus Smart's at 100%, and the starting 5 actually plays a lot of minutes together, you know what? Fuck that. I'm just going to say it. This team, by the time they're like, the season's in 50 games, this team's either going to be the 2nd seed or the 1st seed. I'm going to just be honest. This team is going to be a top 5 defensive team and a top 5 offensive team again. Book that shit. Heard it here first. And I know I sound like a homer, but I'm just being honest. From what I see, because this team is always a good team defensively, so you know they're going to get there. Once the starting 5 gets fully healthy, and they get their chemistry down. Yes, I know they've been playing together for a while, but they haven't all been able to play together this year. So there's still issues. They're going to work out the kinks. I promise you this team will be a top 5 team defensively and a top 5 team offensively as well. They just got too much firepower. Like I said, JB and Tatum are literally averaging 25 points a game. I think they're the first duo. I don't know. Oh, man, I knew the stat. I'm brain farting, but I know they're like their first duo in a long time to be averaging 25 points. No, since I think it's Mikal and Larry Bird or something like that, to be averaging 25 points a game or something like that. But yeah, there's a first duo in a while that both are averaging 25 points a game. So we'll see how everything turns out. If those dudes keep balling, this team will make it. I think this team has a shot to make it either to the Eastern Conference Finals again or the Finals. Who knows if they win the championship, because we already know it's going to be tough to beat the Lakers or the Clippers. I hate saying that in the West it's going to be those 2 teams. But I'm going to be honest, I don't see nobody beating those 2 teams in a 7-game series other than each other. Yes, I know the Nuggets did it last year, but the Nuggets overachieved. The Nuggets got lucky. I hate to say it because I love the Nuggets. We all know I love the Nuggets. I love Joe Keek. But them fuckers got lucky. All right, and now let's talk about the Raptors. The Raptors are currently sitting in the 7th seed at 10-12. I'm going to be honest, the East is bad this year. It wasn't like the other years that, there were almost like the top 6 teams were good. Nah, they're bad this year. The East is bad this year. The Hawks are not good. I don't want to waste my time talking about the Hawks. It's all fucking bullshit. It's the first round exit Hawks. Toronto's the only team. I think Toronto will eventually make a push for like the 4th seed, but they're not going to go above the 4th seed. Toronto's a team that I'm kind of disappointed with because this team has all the pieces, but it looks like losing Ibaka was huge. Losing Gasol was huge, which is I guess Gasol was just better for the system that they played in Toronto than it is in LA, because he looks so much better in Toronto, and obviously it showed because Toronto is really lacking right now. They're losing a lot of games right now because they got no rim protection. I stand Aaron Baines, but he's just not a good rim protector. And I feel like the Raptors don't offensively. It's like a crapshoot because I feel like you don't know what you're gonna get from Siakam. Siakam to me is like they fucked up and overpaid him for that one good playoff run, and look at him now. Like he's playing like an average player. He's not playing like a $30 million a year player. So unless he gets his shit together, this team is going to go nowhere in the playoffs. I hate to say it. Van Vliet's doing his thing. Obviously, that man got paid. Good for him. He's doing his thing. But I feel in order for this team to be successful, Siakam needs to start playing well. Because OG's a good player. Good defensively. He shoots the 3-ball okay. Like, I'm not going to... Like, OG... They're going to need OG to step up, obviously. But come playoff time, OG plays well. So who knows? Maybe this team can upset a top seed in the playoffs. But I don't know. We'll see. It's just time will tell. Because, like I said, right now, they look like they're struggling. They got no rim protection. That's the big issue. And then you don't know what's going to happen with Siakam. It's like you don't know if you're going to get the $30 million a year player Siakam or the $15 million a year player Siakam. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the NBA talks, my dudes. Yeah, so we're going to start with the NFL talk right now. I'm going to talk about the teams I was most impressed with and the teams I was least impressed with. And I'm going to pick my winner for the Super Bowl. All right, let's talk about the NFL. First and foremost, I just want to say that your boy said Josh Allen was going to ball this year. Just let me throw that out there. I said that Josh Allen was going to mature before our eyes, and I was fucking 100% correct about that shit. So big ups to me. You know, I just gotta give myself the fucking gas. But yeah, Josh Allen, killer year, same as the Buffalo Bills had a killer year this year. Stephon Diggs balled the fuck out. The Buffalo Bills have nothing to be ashamed of this year. And I also said the Buffalo Bills would win a playoff game this year, and they won 2 playoff games this year. So thank you, Buffalo Bills, for fucking making my prediction come true. Also, thank you, Josh Allen, for making me not look like a fucking idiot. So yeah, let me get that out the way. Yeah, so big ups to Josh Allen. Balled out. Diggs balled out. To me, I have a feeling that the Buffalo Bills are going to be a team that's going to be good in the AFC for years to come. But the issue that this team is going to run into every year is the Chiefs. I don't know. The issue to me is I know they were winning the game 9-0. Okay. If you're up 9-0 on the Chiefs, you got to have a good enough running back that's going to eat the clock. That's the issue that I think this team has. This team needs desperately, I hate to say it, this team desperately needs to fucking either see what's available in free agency for running backs or draft a running back if there's any good running backs in the draft. This Devin Singletary and Zach Moss shit is not going to work playing against a good team like the Chiefs. That's to me, I think if this team wants to get to that other level and win a championship, they need to get a running back that can eat up the clock. That once Josh Allen gets a first down, you know, you have a running back that can get 4 yards, 5 yards every time, get a first down, eat the clock. Because I think that's to me why this team lost in the AFC game. Because yes, they went up 9-0. But they were literally, essentially, how I'm going to say this, I'm just going to say it. They were playing Patrick Mahomes' game. You're not going to beat the Chiefs playing their game. You're not going to outpass them. I hate to say it. You're just not going to do it. They're going to score on you if you don't have a running back that can eat up the clock. And if you think I'm an idiot for saying what I'm saying, look at the Raiders. The Raiders beat them. That's literally what the Raiders did. The Raiders got their touchdowns, started running the ball, getting the first downs, beat them. Every team that has beat that team has literally had a decent running back that that once they go up, they just start punching the ball. That's how you beat this team. You got to keep Mahomes off the field. It sounds like a broken record. Everybody says it, but it's the truth. And for me, I think the Buffalo Bills are all in. So I feel like the Buffalo Bills are going to go and get a running back. Hopefully they get him for Josh Allen, because I think this team can win a Super Bowl within the next 3 years if they just get a running back. Because this defense is solid. It wasn't as good as last year, but the defense is good enough to get you there. The offense needs a running back. Because their corners are good, too, by the way. Tre'Davious White made the Pro Bowl again. But whatever. I guess we'll see. And another thing, man. The Steelers, to me, were impressive all year. And then how Ben Roethlisberger was just fucking terrible. What the fuck happened, man? Like, I'm just going to be honest, man. I don't understand. Like, Ben Roethlisberger was probably the hugest disappointment for me of the season. He had the best defense in the league, and he could not do shit with that defense. Like, because the offense was so bad. Like, he couldn't score. Like, I don't know. He just looked terrible. He's throwing a lot of picks. I feel, to me, it's time to move on from Big Ben. I know Steelers fans, you love Big Ben or whatever, but if you want to win a championship, you got to move on from Big Ben. It's time. And you also need a running back. James Conner's not going to get it done. I hate to say it. James Conner's he's got bad ankles. He's always injured. It's like he plays like eight games a year. You guys need a running back and a quarterback if you want to win a championship. This is going to say what I said. That defense can only carry you for so long, which it was proven this year. And yep. Also, the Baltimore, I'm going to talk about the Ravens now, but to me, I feel like the Ravens are a good team, great defense. They need to get some motherfucking receivers. They don't need another running back. J.K. Dobbins is pretty damn good. They just need to make him the official starter. Let's stop playing stupid games here. Let's stop giving the ball to Gus Edwards. Mark Ingram's obviously not the same. He already got cut. They need receivers. You need to get Lamar receivers. There's just no way they're going to win just throwing to Mark Andrews. This whole beating teams with just Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson's legs, nah. That shit is not a recipe to get to the Super Bowl. Obviously, the defense is solid. That's why they made the playoffs. But the offense it's lagging. They need a number one receiver. Marquise Brown is not a number one receiver. As much as I love Dez Bryant's washed. Bomb. That hurt me to say. But yeah, they need to go out there, get this man receivers. But yeah, other than that, this seems solid. They just got to get the man receivers. Get them receivers. Now let's talk about the Cleveland Browns. Was impressed by the Browns. Once OBJ went down, this team started catching mad W's. The defense was playing good. Baker Mayfield started playing good. I shit-talk Baker Mayfield a lot on this fucking podcast, and I don't give a shit. He had been playing like absolute dog water up until OBJ got injured. So good for him. It's nice to see they got his swag back. Hopefully he can keep it up. The Browns is the Browns. But to me, I think Kareem Hunt becomes a free agent. They gotta try to re-sign him because their running back by committee works. They got two top tier running backs. Kareem Hunt's baller. Nick Chubb is a baller. Landry still played well this year. I think they're probably going to end up moving on from OBJ. For me, I feel in order for this team to take the next step, the O-line needs help. Like, they look better this year, but they still need pieces from the O-line. They're probably going to need a clear-cut number one receiver. I don't think Landry's enough. But this team was impressive to me for the simple fact that I didn't think they were going to make it because they started losing and then all of a sudden they just started getting W's. So big ups to them. And now let's talk about the Titans. To me, the Titans are just going to be mediocre every year. Like, I like the team, but Derrick Henry's not going to carry this team. Ryan Tannehill been playing on a fucking beast mode level all year, by the way. Big ups to Ryan Tannehill. This team right here needs another receiver. AJ Brown is great player. They need another receiver. Obviously, they have the running back already, but the defense was garbage this year, which is surprising. But I guess we'll see. To me, this team needs to improve on the defense to be better next year. I was really impressed by this team though because Tannehill was played great all year. Like Tannehill, the question mark was always Tannehill. Can Tannehill keep playing at this level? Obviously, the man showed he could play at the level. He played at a high level the whole year. Played well the whole year. So big ups to Tannehill. Hopefully, he can keep it up. It seems like Tannehill has found a home with the Titans. Kind of like everybody thought he was done, and then he was named the starter, and then he just started balling at the end of last year, and this year he balled out all year. I just think they need another receiver. They need to clean up the defense. But other than that, this team was impressive because obviously they made the playoffs. Just kidding. It was just impressive to see this team like Tannehill ball out because the question mark all year was Tannehill, and he showed out. But yeah, this is a team I want to talk about. The Colts, to me, were super impressive. I don't think anybody had them booked to make the playoffs. Phillip Rivers did his thing. Yes, he did. Phillip Rivers still did Phillip Rivers things. I'm a Phillip Rivers fan, but you gotta shit talk him when he's out here throwing monster mad picks a game with the best O-line in the league. They're literally best O-line in the league. I really, really love Jonathan Taylor. I think that kid's going to be good for years to come. So that was a good pickup in the draft. And obviously they still got their receivers. Their tight end is solid. I can't say his name, man. He has a weird name. Sorry, not Jake Doyle, but the other dude. I don't know. He has a weird name. I don't know his name, man. It's weird. I can't pronounce it. Alexander. It's weird. It's a weird name. But I think that tight end's going to be solid. And I feel like these dudes these dudes had the number one defense in the league. Didn't nobody expect these dudes to have the number one defense in the league either. I just think that these dudes need a quarterback and I think they need another receiver. Ty Hilton is always injured. They need to move on from Ty Hilton. They need to cut the man, pick up a receiver, and I think this team will be solid. And they need a QB, but I don't know what the plan is here. I don't know if they're going to play Brissett. I have no idea. And also for me, I said I was going to talk about teams that were disappointing. To me, I feel like the Houston Texans, everybody knew the Houston Texans were going to be bad. Let's be honest here. I did not. I knew the Houston Texans were going to be. Hopefully you guys knew they were going to be bad because I knew they were going to be dog shit. As soon as they lost Hopkins, I was like, oh, that trade, Hopkins for Johnson, nobody understood that trade. To me, trade was fucking terrible trade. You traded for, I hate to say this, I hate to shit talk David Johnson. You traded Hopkins for a top 3 receiver for a fucking bottom tier fucking running back that's washed. Why? It doesn't make sense. Bill O'Brien literally shit on that franchise's chances to do anything. Like, what the fuck? That's literally the biggest trade, one of the worst trades. That has to be literally one of the worst trades in NFL history. Like, you saw how good this team was with Hopkins. Like, the Hopkins-Watson combo would get them into the playoffs. J.J. Watt was doing his thing. J.J. Watt's... Also, they're going to let J.J. Watt walk in the offseason. Why the hell? And then it's like, why the hell would Deshaun Watson want to stay there? come on. If it's crazy to me how shitty this organization is run. It's like Watson's like, I want out of here. Do you blame the guy? Do you trade his best receiver for fucking peanuts? You got nothing in return. Like, what the fuck are you doing? If I'm him, I'm out of there. I don't care if I just got paid. Get the fuck out of there. Or else your career's over. You're going to waste 5 years of your career there. And remember, he already fucked up his ACL, so he needs to get out of there ASAP. Hopefully he does, because he's a great player. Top 3 QB in the league, hands down. Also, I ain't going to sit here and shit talk Watson, because he was throwing to bums all year. And I think he still led the NFL in yards. So, to me, Watson, great player. Hopefully he gets out of there. He deserves it. Who cares if he goes to the Jets? Fuck it. Go ahead and get the fuck out of there. It'll probably be a better situation for you anyways. And let's be honest, do I really need to talk about the Chiefs? Come on, guys. We already knew the Chiefs were either going to make it to the Super Bowl. I did say the Chiefs were going to make it to the Super Bowl. I picked the Chiefs at the beginning of the season. And I also remember, I did pick the Saints, but I said if anybody is going to beat the Saints, it's going to be the Bucs, and the team that beats the Saints is going to make it to the Super Bowl. So I did say that. And here we are. Here we are. Bucs, Chiefs, Super Bowl. Yeah, but whatever. Enough about that. We're not going to talk about the Chiefs that much. I don't want to give them gas. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is a fucking beast. Andy Reid is a fucking offensive genius. And Travis Kelce is, oh my God, Travis Kelce is such a boss, man. That dude is just unguardable. Him and Hill are just ridiculous, man. It's crazy. And that's what happened to the Bills. The Bills could not find a way to stop Kelce or Hill. It was insane. Like, once those dudes got it going, that was it. And Mr. Damian Williamson, I don't show up for like 14 weeks of the season, and the last 6 weeks of the season, I'm the best RB in the league. Jesus Christ. Alright, now let's talk about the NFC. First off and foremost, the NFC East is fucking garbage, and I get to talk about that division first. Let's just get out of the way. Giants, dog shit. Cowboys, dog shit. Eagles, dog shit. Washington football team, only decent team in that conference. I think that team will get better. I really like their defense is for real, by the way. Chase Young is for real. If this team can get good corners and another receiver, this team will be in business. They will win the NFC East easily every year. I hate to say it easily, but because the Giants are like a couple of players away. The Giants are an edge rusher, because their safety that they drafted last year was good. Their corner was good. Maybe they draft another corner. Hopefully Saquon comes back healthy and they win the division. They're not a championship team, but they'll win the division if they can get an edge rusher and another corner. Oh, God. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. This is going to hurt. The Dallas Cowboys suck. The Dallas Cowboys need 2 corners. Their corners are trash. It was cool watching Aldon Smith ball out. He was having his drug problem. We gave him a chance. He been balling. So good for him. But also the Cowboys were hurt all year. So we'll see what they look like next year. They just need corners. They don't need nothing on offense. Please, please, please stop drafting fucking receivers. Stop drafting for the offense unless it's going to be for the O-line. Don't draft fucking receivers unless you're going to draft a tight end, which we probably might need a tight end because we don't know what's going to happen with Blake Jarwin. Hopefully he can come back and play well. And the Eagles are a clusterfuck right now. We're not going to talk about the Eagles. There is no point. We have no idea what the plan for that team is right now. Just got a new coach, so let's not even waste our time talking about the fucking Eagles. The Green Bay Packers. Your boy said this squad was pretenders, and he was fucking right. What happened? As per usual, couldn't stop the run. And then they got dumpstered by the Bucs. Poor Mr. Rogers. I'm just going to be honest here. All the criticism of the GM and the people upstairs was 100% correct. Because I'm just going to say this. And if you Packers fans, I'm pretty sure like 99% of you Packer fans will agree. If the Packers just draft Justin Jefferson or any other receiver, it's Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, they're in the Super Bowl. 100%. They're in the Super Bowl. Or if they draft the dude from the Broncos, they're in the Super Bowl. Come on, you're over here throwing to Lazard and Scanling. Dude, those guys are dog shit. Tonyan was impressive, though. I'll be honest. I did not expect Tonyan to be as good as he was. So big ups to Robert Tonyan. But I just think the Packers are going to have, in order to make the championship next year, obviously I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers is going to come back. He's in a good situation. They just need to get that man another receiver. Devontae Adams cannot be the whole fucking offense. What's his name? Their running back had a better year. But we'll see how everything turns out. I think Rodgers will stay there. But this team's going to have to find a way to stop the run. It's just a broken record already. It's like the defense has to do their job. Because Aaron Rodgers is going to do Aaron Rodgers. I don't want to talk about the Bears. The Bears suck. The Vikings suck. But I was very, very impressed by Justin Jefferson. I just want to thank Justin Jefferson and David Montgomery for my first ever final fantasy football championship. Thank you, players. But yeah, now let's talk about the Saints and the Bucs. Pretty much, I think the Saints, Drew Brees is going to retire. I think it's time. He showed that it was time. He looked super washed up that game against the Bucs. I think he threw 3 picks. Come on, dude. It's time to hang it up. I love Drew Brees, but it's time. You're just literally standing in the way of Tyson Hill. And to be honest, the success of your team. Sucks that Michael Thomas was injured all year, but I still think this team still had enough to win it all. And it kind of seems to me that that's it for Drew Brees, because just the things they said, like about Michael Thomas. That Michael Thomas had a ligament tear in his ankle, and so he was pretty fucked up, but he wanted to try his hardest to win Drew Brees a championship. It's just it's making it seem like Drew Brees already had told them that this is his last year, so these dudes are trying to ride for him, you know? They're trying to get him that championship so he can ride off into the sunset. Sucks that I was wrong about my prediction, but I don't even care, because I did say that it was the Bucs. If anybody was going to be in the championship, it was going to be the Bucs. Now let's talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was impressed by this team. I did not think that this team here was going to be in the position they're in right now, for the simple fact that their corners last year were the worst corners in the league. They would get thrown on all year. All fucking year. And I mean, what I mean by thrown on is like 100+ yards on each side. Like, if you were playing this team in fantasy, you were playing the receiver that was playing this defense. So yeah, so like I said, their corners have stepped up a lot this year. Obviously, you knew that front seven was fucking legit. That you were not going to be able to run on them, and it's still true. You still can't run on them. But Tom Brady did his thing. And also I'm just gonna throw this out there. I hate how people are trying to shit on Bill Belichick and be like, Bill Belichick isn't nothing without Brady. Nah, that's bullshit. Both of these dudes needed each other. I'm just gonna put this bullshit to rest, because to me it's stupid. If you see, Bill Belichick was literally working with fucking plumbers, man. My man was literally outside of Cam Newton, what the fuck did he have on offense? Nobody. All those dudes on offense were terrible. Like, I can't even name a fucking receiver on that team or a fucking running back. Like, come on. Start building this crap. Spend the money, man. You don't waste your fucking coach's last years. You have a beast coach. Do not waste his last years. Obviously, Brady is playing great. Don't get me wrong. But come on, you're going to tell me, look who Brady had to throw to. Like, I hate like the whole Brady made Bill Belichick. That shit, it sounds so dumb, guys. Please drop that stupid narrative. Because look at what Tom Brady had. Tom Brady had Antonio fucking Brown, Mike Evans, and Goodwin. And he has Gronk to throw with and block for him. Like, bro, come on. That offense is fucking stacked. Like, the only other team that has a stacked offense like that has like the receiving power that is the Cowboys. But the Cowboys suck because their defense is garbage. But literally, Brady has 3 fucking killers. And when I mean killer, we all know these 3 dudes are fucking 4, dude, because Gronk is a fucking killer too. To throw the ball to. There's just no way. Of course, Brady was going to fucking get in the end zone. Like, Brady was going to do his thing. If the defense was good enough, which it has been, they were going to be in the position that we're in. That was just a big question mark for me, was the defense. But the defense obviously showed that they were good enough. Obviously, they are. They're in the Super Bowl. They're going to play for it all tomorrow. Yeah, but I'm impressed by the Bucs. I gotta say. Enough about the Bucs. Let's just finish up the pod. Let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. To me, I feel like the Seahawks, their defense is gonna have to improve. The defense was not as good as they thought they were. They couldn't stop the run. They can't stop the run. They were struggled all year to stop the run. People said that they had a top 5 run defense. Nah, for like 5 games. Nah. Get the fuck out of here. These dudes couldn't stop the run all fucking year. I don't care if they stopped the run in 5 games. You let Cam Akers run on you for 179 yards. That literally proves right there that you were either playing shit backs, or you, I don't know, because Cam Akers 179 yards in a playoff game. They literally beat you without their starting quarterback. They beat you just by running the ball. So this team's gonna have to find a way to stop the run. This receiving core is obviously amazing. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. So this team doesn't need nothing on offense. I really do wish this team would run the ball more. Chris Carson is a good player. I don't know what the deal is though. They didn't run the ball much. I just don't understand it. They were trying. Come on, though. Let Russ cook isn't going to work against a team that has 2 corners that are fucking great. That's literally what happened in the playoffs. Ramsey literally shut down Metcalf. Couldn't do shit. So basically, for me, I was impressed by the Seattle Seahawks. I didn't think they were going to be as good as they were. I was super disappointed by the Niners, but the Niners, that's a story for a different day. That team was injured all year, so it sucks for them that they were injured. But I feel like Seattle to get to the chip, they're going to have to stop the run, and they're going to have to run the ball more. They can't just let Russ cook. It's not going to work. Now let's get to the Rams. Mind you, I love the Matthew Stafford trade. It clearly shows that the Rams are like, we're in win now mode. We know that we have a top defense in the NFL, top 3 defense in the NFL. Our rookie running back just showed us that he can be a number 1. He fucking balled out against Seattle. So, and then they made the move to get Stafford. Because, let's be honest, Jared Goff's garbage. If Jared Goff is being pressured, he's just so bad. Matthew Stafford, to me, I feel is like a very underrated QB. I think he's a good QB. Just sucks that he never had any weapons to throw to once Calvin Johnson retired. So to me, I feel like that trade that these dudes made was big. I think the Rams will be back next year. I think they'll make the playoffs easily. good defense, they got a shot. Once you have a good defense, you have a shot to win the Super Bowl. They got a good run game. They got the QB that's going to take them there. Pretty much it for the Rams. And also, I'm going to talk about the Cardinals real quick. I think the Cardinals were impressive this year. They beat a couple of good teams, and then they just, I don't know what the hell happened. They need to get another running back. Kenyon Drake is fucking washed. He's a young dude. I don't know what's going on. They need another running back. They need to move on from Kenyon Drake. The defense was mediocre. The defense needs to improve. Their offense is stacked, though. Kyler Murray's a real fucking deal. Him and DeAndre Hopkins, beast. Same thing with Kirk. All those dudes are good. The receiving core solid. They just need a running back and improve the defense, and this team will be back in there. All right. Enough about the NFL. Let me pick my Super Bowl winners, and then I'm out. I'm tired. I've been talking a lot. I haven't talked this long in a long time. All right, so I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I think Kelsey has a monster game. I don't see the Bucs stopping Kelsey or Hill. And Mahomes is going to do his thing. I think Mahomes is going to get I think Kelsey's going to get MVP this time. I think Kelsey's going to murder the fucking Buccaneers offense. I think Kelsey's going to get MVP. And, yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to win it all. Sucks because I'm not a Tom Brady hater, but I would like to see him get another ring, but I don't think it's this year. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Thank you to everybody who is still here. I appreciate it. If you guys like the pod, follow. I'm going to start doing them more now that I have time. I know I say that all the time, but I'm actually going to do it now because I'm not tired all the time. I'm not working 60 hours a week anymore, so I have time to do pods now. I hope you guys are all good. I know we're in a pandemic. I hope you guys are staying safe. If you have any questions or want to talk about anything, my Twitter is @FatBoyTakes, and so is my Instagram. You can hit me up on that. I don't care. We can talk sports. I don't give a shit. All right, guys. You guys take care. Have a great day. Be safe. Peace.